Tonight, a plan to move migrants in Chicago from downtown to a temporary migrant shelter in the Bridgeport neighborhood. Well, that's facing some opposition. Residents in the neighborhood say that they are concerned about the proposal that's been put forth by the mayor. NBC5's V. Wynn has more on the plan and why some say it's not a good idea.
Strong reactions tonight from residents after learning Mayor Brandon Johnson is considering plans to open a new temporary migrant shelter in their Southside neighborhood.
And he don't know where to put him. Why would you put him in our neighborhood? Well, why don't we go by your house?
All of that money that he's giving them, we've been begging for years.
We've lived here our whole life. We have a lot of bad things that happen here already. We do not need this. We just do not.
Located just blocks away from Guaranteed Rate Field, the proposed building near Canal and Pershing is in the city's 11th ward.
Look at where it's at. It's hid in the back. Why is that a good location? We have no amenities here as it is.
Alderwoman Nicole Lee issued this letter to constituents yesterday saying she was notified earlier this week and met with the mayor on Thursday. She says the city wants to move migrants staying at the Standard Club near the Dirksen Federal Building to her ward before the Democratic National Convention.
This is just insane. It doesn't make sense. Keep them downtown. Keep them, I don't know. I mean, this is not our problem.
The alderwoman made it clear she is against the proposed plan, citing safety and location concerns and lack of justification for the move. She says, quote, "As our city grapples with this unprecedented influx of migrants, it is crucial that we handle the migrant crisis safely, responsibly, and with full transparency. The well-being of our communities must be the top priority."
But all we want to do is house our veterans, and they're getting kicked to the side for the people who didn't do anything for this country. Yet those men and women honorably served. They should be coming first.
Alderwoman Nicole Lee was not available for an on-camera interview today. The alderwoman is asking the mayor's office that if they decide to move forward with this plan, she wants them to hold community meetings prior to signing the lease, giving her constituents an opportunity to ask any questions and to address their concerns about the site. Reporting in Canaryville, V1.
City of Chicago in some trouble. I don't want to say Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, brother, up the standard of Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the spirit. Going into the Egyptian versus the Egyptian, as we know that the modern day Egyptians are the modern day Americans, Babylonians, you citizens of America that claim to be American citizens or blood oath patriots, liberals, conservatives, whatever you want to call yourselves, you're still considered the Egyptians because we understand that modern day Egypt, well, modern day America, well, America is modern day Egypt. Okay. What's happening here is that it's a Chicago mayor. This guy was named Brandon Johnson or something like that. Just another clown. I don't know why Jake constantly do it to themselves, man. You know, Chicago has been a Democrat city since as long as I remember, and every time they put these puppets in office, it gets worse for Jake. But you know what? It is what it is because you know you Jakes are not taking heed to the voice of the Heavenly Father anyway. We've told you that this current administration wasn't going to do you any good and they was going to displace you. Now, with Title 42 expired last year around this time, they've been letting, which migrants have been coming over here the last 20 years. Okay, they got over, I want to say just roughly guesstimating, and I was watching Redacted the other day. They got millions of these people over here, and everybody is saying that these are military-age men and crisis or paid agitators to do things that's inconvenient. Now, it says Chicago mayor wants to move migrant from downtown shelter to south side, and that's going to spell disaster because the south side of Chicago, depending on where you are, there's not a lot of resources when you go into like the Inglewood neighborhoods and the, you know, I believe, the Chatham Heights, they're building that up like over off 87th Street and Dan Ryan over to like 75th. They're building that stuff up, you know, because they want to reclaim the city back and they want to push you Jakes out. As even down at the, the Bronzeville area, down on like 35th Street, you know, they tear down the projects and they build up condominiums and, you know, they build up these particular shopping venues because they know that Jake can't afford it. So they push you all the way out to the suburbs. but the suburbs are going to push you back out to the city, which there won't be any place for you. But they're pushing migrants down to the south side, which is going to spell disaster because, you know, a lot of gangs reside on the south side of Chicago, depending on where you are. Okay, like if you go from anywhere to 62nd and Cottage Grove all the way down to, I want to say 47 in Prairie, or if you go from 63rd and College Grove to Calumet all the way over to 79th over East, I mean, it's literally infested with gangs, man. Okay, because I mean, shit, that's how Esau segregate everybody, man. You know, but if these migrants are moving to the south side of Chicago, then that can't spell nothing but disaster. Because, in fact, I was listening to JJ Carell on the Redacted show, and he was basically saying how he was in Chicago and how the segregation and the crisis is totally different from north to south sides. Now, when you go into the comments, they're cursing this guy Brandon Jackson out, Brandon Johnson. Which, why would you select a nigga named Brandon? Like, come on, man. Okay, this guy, Brandon Johnson, he has no best interest of you, Jakes. Okay, his thing is to pledge his allegiance to the Biden administration, and that's just what he's set up to do. So they put a face like yours in office all the time just to disappoint you. Okay? And that's all it is, man. This guy, Brandon Jackson, Johnson, whatever, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and he's a joke, you know? And Jake is about ready to crack his melon open, man, because this is the second, or matter of fact, this is the second Jake Democrat leader that failed him. Okay, from Lori Lightfoot, Yoshi, to this guy. Man, Jake is pissed off, you know, because Jake believe in voting Democrat, which these Democratic cities are being ran into the ground. Okay, Chicago is going to be pretty much a third world city in a minute. But it says, what garbage? It says he's moving them because he wants to clean up the downtown for the upcoming convention. It says this doesn't serve the neighborhood or immigrants. It's simply get them out of his face for the summer. He says, how about just taking them back to the border? All right. And when you're looking at these comments, this is basically a civil war that's brewing up because people are fed up with this shit. They're fed up with Biden. They fed up with the transgender movement. People are fed up with this shit, man, because they thought that this administration was going to go and bring back Obama type popularity. But people don't understand that Obama is the one that put all this shit into play. Okay, this is when your cities really started to see decay and debauchery and degeneracy, man, because you put this guy Obama in office. I remember the night he got selected back in 2008, Chicago, they had to literally shut Chicago down because it wasn't nothing but niggas out there protesting, acting crazy. And yet more Jakes got killed on his watch than any other president. You know, and it says, why do we have to keep supporting them? It says they got enough support from us already. I work in a government office and they're getting $500 in SNAP, $500 in TANF, medical insurance, and free rent. This is absolutely ridiculous. Enough is enough. If they can't support themselves with all this free money, then they should be sent back. So people are getting fucking fed up with the bullshit. And like I said, watching this guy, JJ Carell, basically he was saying that basically the Jake race in Chicago is getting ready to go to war with these migrants, with these UN troops. You know, these Hamitic troops, so to speak. He was kind of going into that. He said that Jake is ready for war because really they're declaring war on you people. Okay, what you're seeing now is a military invasion disguised as immigration or migrancy or whatever you want to call it. They're disguising under that, which some of them may be actual people that, escaped the war-torn cities. But for the most part, these are military-age men. Okay, and this is a civil war that's being blown up or being brewed up in Chicago. Okay, so matter of fact, I got another video I want to play. But first, let's get a precept here. Then I'll play the other video. This is Isaiah 19:2. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And people are going to fight for the scarcity of products because when you do the research, there's not a lot of food in circulation. You know, all these particular plants are being destroyed, you know, as far as like the chicken facilities and the egg plants and all these other particular production company plants, they're being destroyed. Okay, they blowing bridges, they're cutting off supply chains. It's getting to the point that now things are getting ready to start to go up. And if rumor has it, if the BRICS cut off America in October of this year, then you better believe that things are getting ready to get bad for the worse. And these people, they're going to eat each other. And they're going to go after their governments. They're going to go after their officials. Hey, this guy Brandon Jackson, hey, they gonna look for him. They gonna literally hang him on a noose, man, because for the simple fact he's a Jake. Second of all, they gonna blame him. You know, they ain't gonna really. I mean, Biden, yeah, you know, but at the same time, he has protection. This guy Brandon Johnson, I mean, he has protection, but at the end of the day, they can find this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And Jake know where he's at. If anything, Jake know, because Chicago is a heavily networked city, and people communicate and things get around quick. So if they really want you, they can find you. Okay, because Chicago has been very structured in crime and mob ties since the days of Al Capone. So it's a very structured city in some regard when it comes to the underground criminal life, or the underground world, so to speak. And it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom, meaning state to state, city to city, province to province, suburb to suburb. And on top of that, you're going to have a civil war in your hand. All right, and people are going to really lose their minds. And it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fell in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. So right now, they're seeking counsel. Okay, they go into these congressmen, these congresswomen, these mayors, these, what do you call these people, these governors over these states. You know, even they're seeking out their own means of witchcraft to figure out how can this place bounce back, because the average person in their mindset, they're just looking to survive. Okay, because these people, they don't know Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, they don't know what it entails to be endowed with the Holy Spirit. So in their mindset, this life is as good as it gets. So we got to defend it at all costs. Okay, meaning going to war. And what they don't realize is that these migrants that's being strategically placed in these cities, hey, when the next lockdown come, or when the WHO announces the next pestilence, then all of a sudden these so-called migrants that you thought were poor third world country citizens, nah, they're going to end up in those blue hats. So they already placing them in your neighborhood strategically, because when they lock you back down, they already going to have the soldiers in place. So that's what this is all about. And guess what? Your governors and your mayors and your leaders, they're all in on this shit. Okay, this guy Brandon Jackson, fucking Lori Lightfoot, this guy Quentin Lucas, that bald face, that dude is a clown. You know, and all these governors, they're all bought and paid for. They all sold out to the elites. You know, and these are the wicked individuals we have over us, man. These are not just leaders. So these people are going to fucking go nuts, man. And they're going to try to seek their lives. And it says, in the Egyptians would I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, says the Lord of hosts, and the Lord of hosts. And right now, we are in the balance, or they're in the balance of this presidential selection, which, I mean, I haven't really been keeping up with it because it's been kind of hush-hush, so we don't know what's going to come of it. But either way it go, man, you know, Esau's getting ready to start doing shit. Things are getting ready to start happening. Okay, so I'm going to play this other video and get a couple more precepts, and we'll end it after that. Matter of fact, let me look up redacted. And by the way, that assassination of that, what's the name of that damn thing? That plane that crashed, that helicopter with that Iranian prime minister, or that Iranian national or something like that. Hey, they blaming that on the small hats. You know, they found out that they was looking at the weather radar, and they found out that they deleted all the footage, because they can go back and then you can look at a weather radar, and you can get the day before to see what the weather was. All that footage is gone now. So that's foul play. You know? Exposed United Nations has secret plans to invade America. Shit, they already invaded. It's just a matter of time. All right, so this is the video here.
Lately, I've been feeling like we're getting closer and closer to a civil war. All they have to really do is cut the lights off and watch everybody go against each other. You see, we're so far from being friendly and so far from being neighbors that nobody got each other's back like that anymore.
And he makes a point, because the average American is divided. So how they gonna come together and fight a invading military or outside crisis? These people don't even get along with each other. You can't even get along with your neighbor. You barely speak to your neighbors. You go, you know, out the building, and then your neighbors mean mug you like this is one old Edomite. This is why I hate you, you fucking devils, man, because this is like, you were so entitled to the point you really think that somebody owes you something. Like, it's this old couple that moved downstairs from us and stuff, and I guess he drives like he does painting or something, and he got this big ass raggedy red truck, and he just parks any kind of way, man. And I had to move my car because I'm like, he parks kind of close to me, and then when I park down the fucking lot, this nigga is parked on that side one man. So it's like, are you trying to hit my fucking? Because I looked at my car and it had like a little red nick because he has a red truck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, and it had like a little red paint on it. So I'm just like, man, this nigga did really hit my fucking car. But then when I looked at it and when I measured it, he has a pickup truck and the nick is on my quarter panel. So his truck sits high up. So it couldn't have been him that did it. But just off the fact, it's just like, why you parking so fucking close? So I come into the building and he kind of gave me this look. And I kind of looked at him like, man, like, don't go there, Jake. You know, this old ass Edomite dude. And then he got a fucking camera outside his door. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like somebody really trying to do. You see that type of mentality, because the reason why he did that is because I'm a Jake and I live in this building. I know he put that shit down there because I'm the only man of color that lives in this building. Okay? Downstairs, the neighbor downstairs, he's a Mo. The one across the hall from him, just an old lady. And then you go upstairs, you got a lady that live across the hall and another older lady adjacent to my apartment. And it's a pretty quiet area. Don't nothing really go down in this particular complex. Those shit happen in the area. It's quiet around here. It's pretty peaceful. But he got a camera set outside his door. And I'm thinking, like, for what? You know, so that's how these devils are. So that's a sign of division right there. So even if you were to come together to oppose opposing force, eventually you're just going to turn on each other, because that's how the American people were bred. Okay, these people are cutthroat. The American people are some of the worst people you can run into in life. Okay, we just become so accustomed to it because we were actually brought up in this system. But when you go to the outside countries and cultures and you see how people vibe and kind of get along in some cases, the American people, they ain't got it all together. These people are through. They're selfish. They're very narcissistic. You know, they're proud. They're not fucking, you can't work with them. They're not understanding. They're abrasive. They're violent. You know, it's just like, wow. You see, so this guy got a point.
So there's no need for them to attack us. All they gotta do is take away something we all need, and we will attack ourselves. Understand their plan. Understand what they're doing day by day. Let's not forget that there's FEMA camps all over the United States in certain areas waiting for you. It's crazy because are you going to let them take you out your house, or are you going to put up a fight? Enough is enough, guys. We all need to stand up and start acting like teammates instead of rivals and enemies and things of that nature, because that's not going to get us very far. There's so many people around this world that has not prepared. So many people in America that is clueless to what's coming. And they don't care because they keep living their life like nothing's wrong. They're ignoring it. They have the nerve to be like, what can I do about it? You could do a lot about it. You just don't want to do nothing about it. You're relying on the government to take care of it. Well, listen, the government's not taking care of nobody. So it's about time that you start taking care of you and your family and understanding what's
Jake, wow. Jake, nut. But he makes excellent points because for the simple fact, these people are highly divided and they don't vibe with each other. I mean, they won't even open the door for their mother here. So, I mean, you can forget about it. This is the Lord creating the division among Babylon, okay? So let's I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian. They should fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. So everybody sees how divided America is. So nobody really is not really a threat, because these people, they're going to take each other out because this is just how they're bred. Okay. They will never go after the proverbial threat, but they will attack the person that's next to them because it's just that much more convenient. Like he said, Matthew 12, and I'm going to start at verses 25. It says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. The fact that you have a separate what did they say? You got the judicial system, you got the executive branch. You got two separate powers of law to be, one that overrides the other in case, one one doesn't agree with the particular mandate. Then you could just have this to override that. That's two different offices of power right there. That's division. Okay, and it says every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. This place is going to fall. It says in every city or house divided against itself should not stand. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then shall his kingdom stand? Okay, so you got two political parties, Democrat and Republicans, and they both are playing on the people's emotions to put them against each other. And no way in hell the country should be divided on who to put in office to make the country so-called great. You could just look at the guy's track record and know that these people ain't fit for office. But these are the people you allow to rule over you. So the Lord is getting ready to thrush this place, and deservingly so, because honestly speaking, this place is a fucking joke. Okay, you got women out here trying to tell you what a real man is, and they never even dealt with a man before, a real man. It's just crazy, man. So the best thing for this place is the sword. And honestly speaking, I can't wait, because I'm tired of suffering you people any damn way. If this shit went down tonight, hey, call lawyer how about you, how was shy. But it says here, 2nd Ezra 6, and I'm going to start at verses 22. It says, and suddenly should the sown places appear unsown, meaning your society is going to be a breakdown in society, and they're going to have to intact the emergency powers to be, which is going to be in the form of these troops to restore some type of order. And the full storehouses should suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet should give a sound, which when every man hear it, they should suddenly be afraid. And at that time should friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those there that dwell therein, and the springs and the fountains shall stand still. In 3 hours they should not run. Okay, so you're gonna have a total breakdown of the system, and people are gonna go to war. They're gonna be at each other's throats because for the one of all things. Okay, a good movie to watch is called Nowhere on Netflix. Man, that movie is, just watch that movie. It's called Nowhere. All right, and they gonna show you how grimy shit gonna get out here. But I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified into the next lesson. Shalom.